Hey everyone, so yesterday I went to House of Fraser, I spent £17.50 and I brought the infamous Givenchy Phenomen'Eyes mascara. And I gave it a try yesterday. I'm going to apply it for you today so you can see what it looks like, but I do have some thoughts about it. But first we'll get started with the actual application. Okay, so first of all I'm going to apply it on my left eye. And this is, I always start applying mascara on one side, always first, and it's always the left. So I'm going to use a mirror here, but I'm just going to show you how I apply it. So you've got the ball here, and how I work it is I go underneath from the root and then draw it through. And then have to just move my way in gradually into the eye. And then I'll review, see what it looks like. If I need to separate out a few more lashes, then I will go back to those areas, and then I just dab it on the lower. I mean, because of the ergonomics of this, you couldn't actually like draw it through. You literally just have to dab it on your lower lashes, which takes a bit of getting used to. So anyway, I will start with the very outer. So start at the base and just draw it through. And I can kind of feel the spikes on my upper waterline, which isn't altogether pleasant. But the effect of this is great. It really does lengthen your lashes to the point where they do look amazingly false. But the only downside is that it takes a lot more time than it would if you were using a conventional brush. And that kind of irritates. Because in the morning I don't always have loads of time to go through and meticulously comb my lashes, so it might be a special occasion only kind of mascara. But as you can see, it's sort of pushing up my eyelashes a bit, and I haven't noticed a problem with my eyelashes drooping over the course of the day, which has been reported a lot. A lot of people have said negative things about it with regards to that it basically can't hold a curl. So that's one coat really. And now I'm just going to dab my lower, and this is where you have to be careful not to poke yourself in the eye. And some bits I just can't get to because there we are. Right, so that's one eye done. Yeah, it's okay. It's a nice effect. It's quite pretty, quite girly, and it makes my eyelashes look okay, so I will move on to the next eye. Start on the outer at the root and draw it up. Not a lot to say really, I'm just trying to work through. What I have noticed about this is you can really only apply one coat. You apply more than one coat and you can see the fibres of the mascara on your eyelashes because it starts to look clumpy and horrible. And that's something that kind of surprised me yesterday was, I mean, this is not a cheap mascara, and that's the kind of thing that I would associate with a really cheap mascara, because I do expect to be able to apply at least 2 coats of this onto my eyelashes. But there you go. God, I can kind of feel it on my waterline, it's horrible. Anyway, lower lashes. And then I just check through and I see if there's any areas that require a bit more attention, because I really like my outer lashes to kind of flare out as much as possible. So I sort of concentrate here and just draw them out as much as possible because I want to elongate my eye. So there we are. And I haven't got any, I haven't got much eyeliner on, I don't think, today on my upper waterline, so really put the emphasis at the root and draw it out. And that works quite well, it's flared quite nicely there. So I'm just going to do the same on my other eye. So I'm quite happy with the effect. I think it really does elongate and separate my lashes as it claims to do on the packaging. But the one problem with this is that the comb works brilliantly, but the formulation does not. And I already touched on that a little bit when I was applying it, the fact that you really can only apply one coat of this. So if you like really thick lashes, this is not the mascara for you, because as soon as you apply a second coat to try and thicken as well as lengthen, it basically falls apart and the mascara itself becomes really clumpy. The the brush tries to go through it and work through it, but it just can't do enough. Also, the formulation does not dry properly, and that's particularly noticeable when you apply more than one coat. It basically, yesterday when I applied 2 coats, I was like closing my eyes and noticed that they kind of stuck together because the formulation itself was still wet, and that just really irritated me. And it also meant that when I look up, because my eyelashes touch my skin here, it would leave a big residue. And I have to say, I don't get that with Lash Blast, and Lash Blast lengthens and thickens my lashes without those kind of side effects, and yet it's like 1/3 of the price. So, for example, if I had to say which one of these that I would buy again, I would say this one. I think the brush on this is really revolutionary, really great idea, and I think it does give really pretty light effect on your lashes, but the formulation itself kind of lets it down by a long way. So what I would be tempted to do after I finish with this is actually just take the brush away and keep that for future use, wash it, maybe dip it into a mascara formulation that I think works a lot better, perhaps Lash Blast or any of the others that I've used before that I've been happy with. So that is my 2 cents on Givenchy Phenomen'Eyes. It's a really interesting product, but I don't think it's going to be one that I would repurchase. It's not my holy grail. So back to the drawing board. Thanks for watching, everyone.